Hi, I'm Murry Evans. I want to tell you about a book I just finished writing. The title of it is Poverty to Riches, My Way. And the reason I wrote that book is because I've been encouraged by my wife and my kids for about 12 years to write the book. The book is about my 36 years as franchisee of Burger King, how I started with one Burger King and kept building more Burger Kings and more Burger Kings, and finally 69 Burger Kings later, in the year 2000, I sold my Burger Kings. I had a very good friend that told me, he said, Murry, he said, you've got to write a book. I said, I'm not a writer. I told that to my wife and to my kids, and they believed me and they accepted my excuse. And it was so funny, and I said, and for years, I mean, they would ask me, please, you need to tell the story, you've got a very interesting story. And I said, I'm not a writer, I'm just not a writer. And so I have a good friend in Malaysia, and we play tennis together and have coffee together. And he didn't accept my excuse, I'm not a writer. He said, no, he said, you can write, now let's do it, it's your destiny. I said, my destiny? I said, okay, all right, I better get started writing. And I did. And I started writing, and several months went by, and the next thing I knew, I had 10 chapters, and 12 chapters, and 15 chapters, and I said, man, this is actually fun. And I told stories. I told real stories about the adversity that I experienced, and the successes that I experienced, and how I spent time building my team, and how I added value to my products. And anyway, it contains a lot of material. Of course, not everything. I couldn't put everything in a 120-page book in about 36 years in Burger King, but I put in there how I marketed my product, how I chose sites. And anyway, I just finally got it together. I hired somebody, and of course that's the way I do. I always work best with a team. So I got me a transcriber, and she transcribed my recordings. I had an editor who would edit it and put it together, format it, and to put it on Amazon. It'll be on Amazon in December. We're very excited about that, and I'm looking forward to being out there. And the fact that book might be a blessing to a lot of folks on how I did it, how I made millions, literally, and that's the title of my book, is Poverty to Riches, My Way. And I was a very poor boy, so I did come from poverty, and I did wind up rich, and I did it my way, not the way that necessarily the books say to do it. And along the way I made millions, and I sold for millions. You say, well, how many millions did you sell for? I cover that in the book. Thanks.